Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back. We are here again on the sleep playlist. I hope you're having a good time as we wind through and, of course, wind down, getting ready to take a good one, recover our energy, for the next grind. Today we have a new cosplay. This is, um, wow, I literally forgot immediately right there. This is a Serenade channel. Serenade? Um, because I've realized I've done a lot of VTubers, specifically English speaking VTubers, and um, it really is a thing that came from the wonderful country that made this MMO. So I figured I have to eventually show some love to the wondrous people that allowed me to live such a life, allowed the creation of the Koopaverse in the first place. So yeah, this is Serenade Channel. Um, we will be doing quite a few Secret of Mana videos for her. Dragon Quest as well, because she does play many RPGs. Very good streamer. I believe well, I mean, like most Japanese VTubers are corpo, but I believe she is part of a group. I forget which one. So, anyways, onto our topics at hand today. I am a little sick, so I apologize if my voice sounds a little different if I have to pause and mute, but I'm hoping, like most things, the action will just alleviate the stress from it, from the runny nose. It has been quite cold lately because of the whole winter storm coming up. I hope everybody is staying safe, or perhaps you have already been safe, because I believe at the time I upload this, it will already be gone. This is like what, the fourth one I've done tonight, so this should go up on Monday as I'm recording it Friday night, Saturday morning, before I finish up dailies on Dragon Quest, because this is actually one that I recorded when I woke up. Sometimes the insomnia doesn't hit me, it doesn't strike me as hard, and I figure it's just because I've relaxed into my natural state, or something of that nature. Also, my nose is running a little bit, so before we really get into our topics of the day, sorry for wrestling the wrestling the plastic in front of you guys, but gotta do that. I'll go ahead and mute and wipe my nose a little bit. Sorry about that. But what I wanted to talk about today was basically, yeah, that the Koopaverse, and the fact that anybody can really have an internal world this big, and the fact that there really is no limit. And that's the really cool thing, is I've discovered this very early on. It's like the world, it seems like it has these limitations, but your brain does not, right? So when someone like me is met with these realities, who constantly talks to themselves and has many ideas and concepts constantly running through their brain. The idea that it can be everlasting and that there's endless energy from it is very alluring. But I do want to preface this by saying that obsession with something always comes with gratitude for the other, the yin and the yang. So as much as this inner world can be everlasting, it's sort of a trap, just like MMOs, to fulfill all of our needs in a sort of placebo manner, because you really do need people, things, different kinds of stimuli introduced into your life, whether it be good or bad, to live a fulfilled life. And yeah, these internal worlds, like I said, there's endless possibilities. You can create heaven on earth rather easily, actually, if you're dedicated enough. And I think a lot of people discount this fact of our imaginations and our brains being powerful enough to bring us out of any storm. I forget what the book was called, but a lot of people love to reference the guy who survived the Holocaust, and wrote a book on it. And he just, he kept a good positive attitude the whole time, and then he prospered after, or whatever, and all that good stuff. But it really is all about your mindset and, of course, your attitude pertaining to that mindset. And of course, yeah, that's what I was going to before. It can be a little detrimental because of the general uh, deceit of yourself. You have to sort of ride in a balanced level of delusion when you decide to do it like this. Um, but just knowing that you can go there, that you have the possibility to go there, I think is enough to elevate you to that status to be able to do it. And I think oftentimes we just get thrown off the path towards whatever bright, beautiful thing for our world by the people who are trying to, maybe in a more toxic than positive way, trying to hold us down and keep us from delving into that darkness of the inner world that is usually gone to because of the way people view it. And that's the thing, guys. You can't really explain too much unless it's somebody that you really love and trust with that information, because that's the magic of the inner world. Although it's extremely expansive, it truly is only for you. There's no one who um can think of it like you. There's nobody who has the same ideas as you, which is why it's strange. I see a lot of really amazing art. I delve into it. And you'd be surprised, right? The prettiest, most beautiful, well-constructed things that you're so sure that the person spent like, years and years and hours on. And this is at least just in my eyes, in my opinion. It gets the most surface level comments every time, you know, and then that's just it. People don't really try to go too deep into it, because they feel like all the depth is like already right there. So they just kind of want to praise it. Um, and then things that aren't so polished, the works in progress, um, they sort of get, radio silence and, nothing, because it's like what could be there is not for them. And they can detect it, right? They can tell a finished product, but like you can also tell that it's not truly, the world isn't truly finished and it's not being made in your image. Um, and so I feel like that aspect of creation is often overlooked when we have our own heads and our spaces. I'm not saying your entire consciousness is a comment section, or your entire consciousness is a picture, and the world is a comment section. But you have to, view this analogy with a grain of salt and just say that, nobody really likes the WIPs, and oftentimes the comments on them don't make sense. And then if you go over to the other side of the spectrum and you look at bad art, that of course elicits probably way more engagement even than the good art. So people with horrible internal worlds, people with internal worlds that don't necessarily align with society or the world, or general things that the normies do. Of course, my friend, the comment section will attack you. um, it's because they usually don't uh, say nice things or act kind around those they don't understand. And that's a natural reflex. Just like for me, I have a natural reflex to go towards the pain, because the pain is so attractive to me. But it's a it's a fearful response because it's what I'm used to. It's a reaction. And just like the scared dog bites someone, excuse me, who's stomping around with big shoes because they've been kicked a lot as a pup. You know, um, back in the day, if you did confusing things or weird things, that was a threat to the tribe. Okay, so this is general base instincts of us humans, to need that cohesion. If we can't really be a part of it, we at least have to understand, why it's there or why it works. And the funny thing about this is that you don't really want everybody to be on your side, especially for something like this, or everybody to understand you. Like, I'm gonna be completely honest, guys. I need enemies. I need enemies. I got too much love. I got too much bright and beautiful energy. Too many people with unfiltered, unfettered, uncontrollable lust and desire for me. So I need disturbed individuals trying to take me down. And I feel like a lot of us discount the power that comes with that, because it is scary, because it is fearful, because they do cause pain, because they aren't really here to help us 100% of the time, um, with what we want. But the lessons are what you really need to take away from the people who try to hurt you, because oftentimes they give you lessons through their projections. And yeah, the main thing about the everlasting eternal world is that you can have it without projecting it. But a lot of people, if they're super obsessed with it, it's not really a choice. It leaks out in some other way. It's like when you try to suppress your emotions, when you try to suppress your anger or your rage or whatever. And also, my nose is running once again, so I apologize. I'm going to mute before we get back into this topic. I'll be right back. Okay, 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 okay. My nose still feels a little bit terrible, so I might have to pause a little bit to sneeze. But yeah, it's mostly internal. Um, and then you can project it, just like a lot of emotions. It comes out. It has to come out in some way. You're angry about something. You just shove it down. But just like a spring, if you push the spring down, or I've used this analogy before, so let's use a different one, like a beach ball at a pool party, and you put the beach ball underwater, and then eventually, you know, if you move a little bit or you do the wrong action or whatever, the beach ball is gonna fly up. But it's not just gonna fly up and be like, oh yeah, I'm here on the surface. It's gonna shoot the fuck up. It's gonna get a little airtime, if you will, because of the way emotions work, because of the way water works. And if you really want true power over your internal world, just take over your emotions. Take control of them. Gain a better emotional vocabulary, because once we can actually explain our emotions, we begin the climb to emotional maturity. Then you're able to accurately and honestly assess yourself and connect it to somebody else, because you're able to say, like, hey man, I was hurt because of this various situation, or I felt insecure because I thought that certain things meant certain things, and I didn't ask for clarification. Um, all those things, but you have to first develop the mind's eye to be able to see that thing, and also the like I said, the maturity to be able to not project, but look within and truly see who is in the wrong. And most of the times there's wrong parts of every story. No one's really perfect. There's bad parts to everything that people do. But the main thing is to not, point fingers or blame, and to just solve the problem, man. Like, who the fuck cares how it got here? I don't give a shit. I don't care who spilled the milk. I don't care who made the mess. I care about what we're gonna do about it. And so that's what you have to do if you're an internal projector. You got to just move on. Chop wood, carry water, break glass, use fodder. I don't know. I'm trying to rhyme a little bit. It's very early in the morning. I apologize, but yeah, just truly live in yourself. And I think it's very possible to bring something to life that has the ability to live beyond you. Um, whether it be a creation, a channel, a certain spirit or a lifestyle. Whatever it is, if you build it to serve, it'll serve. But the first thing it has to serve is yourself. That's the thing you have to remember. You have to serve you. You got to put your mask on before anyone else's. So, if anything, the best takeaway from this is to build your own world relentlessly, brick by brick. That's the main way everybody wants to do it. And I hope I've instilled in you a little bit of confidence to be able to do that, a little bit of knowledge to be able to do that, because I think it's possible for all of us. All right. Apologies, I have to blow my nose once again. It's getting very bad in here. Oh, winter storm. Alright. I suppose I could bring this back full circle with what is going on with me right now. You see, body wise, flesh wise, I'm not really having a good time. You know, I got the whole sickness, I got the whole cold. I had to turn my flippin' space heater on for the first time in a long time because of this storm going on. And yeah, I think oftentimes we mistake the beautiful, beautiful magic of life for this internal world, you know. But there is a way that you can sort of combine them, because it's not like I am outright denying my flesh right now. It's just I'm putting that energy towards something else. And this is sort of the way that I alchemized um my Rule 34 addiction. Um sort of just brought it to something else. It's like you don't have to stay in that energy. You can take that energy and you can just put it somewhere else, okay? But at the same time, with just like with the sickness, just like with the horny, just like with the goon, I'm not running away from it. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I am not feeling good. And then I'm just gonna not feel good while putting the energy that I do have toward the work. And you can take that, pretty much anything can give you energy towards your internal world. Just like just like anything from like a retail job or like a day job or something can go toward your side hustle. And a lot of people don't understand how this really works. It's because a lot of skills have crossover potential. It's just like over in this wonderful game of Dragon Quest. Whenever you have a vocation, there's always specific vocation skills. And then over on your specific vocation skills, there are maybe one or two things that cross over into your other classes, into literally every other class. There's maybe some random stats, maybe a move or two, and you have to hold on to these things. Wherever you're at, guys, there's always a way to build more to the everlasting world. Because once again, it is everlasting. There's nothing that has the ability to really stop you from creating the life that you want in your own head. And of course, there's going to be things that are going to try to stop you from bringing it into reality. But the first thing you need to do is cement that thing in your own space, in your own head. You have to have that everlasting world that can't be beat. You have to start up the fire and constantly fuel it. But the problem with this world is that usually when people get a little bit of that fire energy in them, somebody's right there. Somebody's right there, ready and waiting to blow it out immediately, because they want them to stay right where they are. They don't want you to grow into a beautiful, bright, bushy-tailed, individual who's working to make whatever they believe, is possible, um, possible. They don't really want to see that because a lot of people don't have the courage to bring what they once thought was possible to life. And that's the thing, guys. If you don't have the courage, if you think it's too late, there's always time. Okay, of course, it's not endless for anyone, rather, but if you're here, you're able to watch the video, you're able to sleep, rest, um, you're able to learn more. Then you always have the capacity to grow into whatever your internal world demands from you. But a lot of people just don't demand things from themselves. And that's because the world is generally very easy. You don't have to do all the crazy metagame stuff to I don't know, survive, which is a win. I don't know. Maybe this would have been easier to portray to people a couple years ago that just being alive is winning. But I feel like nowadays that's a little on the nose to say. We're in a very strange place, just in the human race right now, where I feel like the general aura is that it's clown world and nobody really wants to associate with anything, including life. So when I say something like the world is easy and just being alive is a gift, it really does trigger people. It's just because it's like I don't even really know if I'm allowed to believe that at this point. And you got to realize that a lot of times what we go through in this flesh life is not that deep, and this is why we all tend to run towards these internal worlds, because oftentimes our deep platitudes and where we go to, it's not entertained here, so we got to go somewhere else. um, and I think if you find the right people, if you're open and honest enough, if your spirit is aligned, then you'll find someone to go there, who can understand what your world really means to you, and thus have it mean something to them. Um, but it's just hard to find it. A lot of people don't have that patience. Okay, I am running out of tissues. It's getting bad out here, y'all. It's getting bad out here. Let me mute one more time while I wipe. Okay, I'm back. Sorry, there was a little bit of a longer pause there. It all came out of me, so there's a little bit of a messy situation here, but I'm gonna grab some tissues, some extra ones, so I could get rid of the gunk. Here we go. It does feel good. I feel a little bit less congested now, though. All in all, guys, our worlds are shaped by who we allow ourselves to be around, internally and externally. I was about to say outernally. You can tell I'm tired. Holy shit. Um, and you got to realize if it's something that you want to last a long time, like I think a lot of us do. It's not like I'm obsessed with having all of the anime girls or whatever, or a harem or something. I think a lot of us guys really just want to lock in on something. We just want something that we can actually simp for in a safe way. Be a traditional simp like we all used to be. But like, if you want that, my friend, then you got to realize if it comes fast, it's gonna leave fast. If it comes slow, if this is somebody that you've known for literal years, and you're just slowly growing to love each other, it's probably going to last a little bit longer. And that's just my take on it. It could be completely different. Sometimes, true love at first sight is a thing or whatever the fuck. I don't know. whatever they're talking about in the meet cutes. But I think especially nowadays, it's just a lot wiser to stay safe and actually have something to focus on. So I don't know, having this internal world. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I should have muted for that. Having this internal world is pretty much like a safety maneuver. You know, you need something else to go to because so you won't be enveloped in their world. And I'd say this is probably the same advice that girls are given as well because you don't want to get too entrapsoled into the guy's world or whatever. I don't know. Maybe you do. I would want somebody to get encapsulated in this world, but that's me. I'm selfish, you know. I think a lot of people deserve to feel the relaxation of this game because I don't know. I have a good time. I really do. I have a good time just popping in for 30 minutes and grinding and leaving or doing a little bit of MSQ or having fun with the cutscenes. Um, and it goes deeper than just how the game looks. It really is gameplay, it's game feel. A lot of games, or gamers, excuse me, excuse the game feel as a part of the game, the I love this game equation. You know, they're just like it's gameplay or whatever, blah, blah, blah. But the feeling you get, from moving your character or the amount of control you have over it. Um, it's good. It's good. And although I am working with a shitload of ping, of course, because the servers are not in America, it's the kind of game that I really love. The way, even the lag feels. It's crazy that I said that. That is an insane statement. It's like this guy likes lag. It's like no, I've just made it a part of my internal world that is good. Is positively inclined. And although I am a gamer, kind of, sort of, I play a lot of video games, but I don't know if I'd really go as far to call myself a true gamer wamer. Um, there are a lot of things that I realize that us gamers just automatically dismiss when video games are so different. They're so different from every medium that literally anything while holding a controller can be good, right? So I implore you guys to have an open mind, an open heart, and I will see you next time when me and Serenade uh, go grind again. Remember to build that internal world. Who cares what people say about it? You have a wonderful, big, juicy, meaty, hard mind, brain that you need to give to the world. So I want to see that brain. I want to see that big brain. Get them brains out, baby. Give me some brain. Okay, it's getting weird. It's getting weird. I love you guys. I appreciate you. I will see you next time. And everybody have a good rest.